Hello, I'm happy to present unlocking slot attention by changing optimal transport costs. This is joint work between Jan, me, Simon, Gertjan and Cees. For a given image we can ask different questions like what are the colors of bird, turtle, bird, or where are the locations of bird, turtle, bird. And we can ask the same questions in different orders. And actually there's many different orders in which we can ask them, but for all of these different orders we expect that this answer should be the same, or at least same up to some permutation. We can think of answering these questions using a neural network that uses cross-attention. In this case, we take the image as input, but also the set of animals for which we want to know more about. And usually when we talk about sets in deep learning, we are talking about matrices, where each row corresponds to a different element in the set. And this means in particular that there's no restriction on every element being unique. So in actuality what we're representing are multi-sets. To avoid being overly reliant on the order of the set, that is the order of the rows in the matrix, people usually construct the neural network in a way that is permutation equivalent, such as using cross-attention. This means that when the input is changed by a permutation, then the output will also change by the same permutation. Let's consider the specific example of slot attention, which also uses cross-attention. Here we are given the image with two birds and a turtle, and the query set with two birds and a turtle. But here, unfortunately, the output becomes green, gray, gray, and not green, orange, blue. And the reason for that is because slot attention is permutation equivalent, which, as we just mentioned, should be a desirable property. But actually, it is a bit too strict, because if a permutation equivalent function is applied on two equal elements in a set, then the output of those two elements will also be the same. A function f is permutation equivalent, or how we prefer to call it set equivariant, if for any input x and permutation matrix P, f applied on the permuted input is equal to the same permutation applied to the output. But as we just saw, this can be way too restrictive for our use case. Instead, we consider a more expressive version of permutation equivalence, namely multi-set equivalence. Here we say that the output doesn't need to be permuted with the same permutation matrix that we used for the input anymore. This notion then enables us to separate equal elements in the input. Since every operation in slot attention is set equivalent, the full neural network is also set equivariant. Conversely, this means that if we want to endow the neural network with the ability to separate equal elements, then it is sufficient to change a single operation in slot attention. We focus specifically on the attention mechanism. To turn the attention mechanism into something that is multi-set equivariant, we make use of optimal transport. Optimal transport is the general problem of moving one distribution over mass to another. Through the lens of optimal transport, attention in humans can be seen as distributing, or transporting, the limited cognitive processing resources over the perceivable information. A similar parallel can be drawn between the attention matrix and the transport map. We integrate different optimal transport algorithms into slot attention, each with different pros and cons. Slot attention with synchron is very quick to solve and also still very similar to regular slot attention, but unfortunately it is still set equivariant. Including the Earth mover's distance into slot attention enables it to break ties, but unfortunately this comes at a computational cost. We propose a method to combine the best of both worlds. We leverage the speed of the synchron algorithm, but instead change the cost matrix so that the output of synchron looks more like the output of EMD. This results in the algorithm SAME. Please have a look at our paper to find out more. On the object property prediction task, we show that making slot attention multi-set equivalent through optimal transport improves the performance. For SAME, this comes at a minimal additional training cost.